the biggest pounding of my life tonight. TCU bent me over and gave it to me raw, without any lube or any mercy, right in front of my 24-year-old girlfriend watching in the stands. I think she might dump me after this humiliation ritual she just witnessed. I can't satisfy her in bed anyways, so I wouldn't blame her if she left me. But without Tom Brady, I would have been a full-time McDonald's worker flipping burgers my entire life. And you guys saw that tonight. Tom Brady carried me my whole career. So I want to send a message, Tom, and beg him to please join the North Carolina team. We'll find a way to make him eligible somehow, some way, because I can't win with these little kids who I don't even know the names of. A bunch of useless trash cans ruining my reputation as the best coach in NFL history thanks to Tom. These kids are literally the age of my girl, and you can see how annoyed I was on the sidelines. Not only do I have to babysit her, now I have to babysit this whole team. It's going to be a long year, guys.
Wow.
That's great. Couldn't have said it any better myself, Bill.
I think that was
great job.
Spot on, Bill. I think you're very aware of yourself. I really enjoyed that about you, Bill. Good job.
It's going to be a long year.
Oh, yeah. On the other side.
You're tuned in to the Red Zone Blitz.
Here we go.
The home for all things NFL and college football.
Ready? Break!
Welcome back, fellas. How are we doing?
Great.
Not so great.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll get into that. For those of you joining us for the very first time, don't recognize our voices, probably wondering who we are. I am co-host of the Red Zone Blitz, G, and I'm joined by...
Brandon, what's up?
And Matthew, what's up, everybody?
Week 1 of college football, officially in the books, and what a ride. What a ride indeed. It was beautiful. College football started on Thursday. Boise State forgot how to play football without Ashton Genty. It was quite a lovely time there. We had football action on Friday as well. I forget who played Friday. Let me check. Was there anything of note? Let's see. I should probably know this, but no, there was no... Oh, yes. Illinois. Sorry, Joel. Sorry. Illinois beat the brakes off of Western Illinois 52-3. And although Ohio played Texas and did not feel like a 52-3 score, it did not look like a 52-3 score. It definitely felt that way while we all watched that morning. It was very painful to watch. I got heartburn. Not from the fried chicken I ate that day, but from watching Arch Manning absolutely decimate himself in the first half, and Steve Sarkisian not knowing what play to call. So great to be aboard the Texas Longhorns freight train. We'll talk about all sorts about that kind of stuff. LSU, you might be a chipper man here. We got a chipper.
Very, very chipper.
It's Brian Kelly. He did his thing. You saw Miami take down Notre Dame.
Yeah,
that was a big game. A lot of big names in attendance for that. And then, of course, you had what is possibly the great fucking upset of Alabama, Florida State.
That was great upset. They are not happy.
Love it.
Not good things there. You also then had the lovely South Carolina Gamecocks, who we predicted you don't want to sleep on them this year. They went into Virginia Tech and took care of business. Well, they didn't go into Virginia Tech, but they faced Virginia Tech and took care of business. And finally, we had ourselves what was known as the shit kicking of a century from one lovely horn frog to Mr. Bill Belichick with legends in the presence.
You remember at the start of the game, he was saying, I just hope that it's not as bad as my NFL debut when he played the Cowboys, when he was coaching the Browns.
It was worse.
That score was what, 20?
That was 24 to like 16, I think.
Yeah, 26-14.
Or something like that,
yeah.
And
this was way worse.
This was outright terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. We got tons to discuss. If you don't follow us already, football season is right here. It's right on the other side. Hit us with a follow. Red Zone Blitz Pod. X, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow us on all platforms. Please stop messaging us on TikTok asking us if we would like to know your free picks of the day. The answer is no. We are going to provide our picks. We do not want to hear about your free ones. Thank you. This is a very, very serious message from all three of us. Stop unsolicitedly sneaking into our DMs and asking us if we want your free picks, because I've seen your track record. Good sir. It is not looking good. You went 0 for 7. Week 1, 0 for 7. Lee Corso went 6 for 6.
I was just going to say, yeah.
He did.
He's the only guy that picked FSU.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
What a legendary career. What a legendary career. Great tribute by ESPN. We'll get into all things. How about we do the opening drive first, fellas? How about it?
The opening drive.
So normally, following episodes, we're going to be dropping them a little bit differently. We're going to be dropping them probably on either a Monday or a Tuesday. That is dependent on our schedule. We are going to be recording either Sunday night or Monday night. So we'll be doing those reactionary videos. Like, you're still going to get your first podcast of the week from us. It's still going to be reactionary. We're going to react to all the things that happened, what this means going forward for you, your fantasy teams, your fandom in the NFL, injuries, all that stuff. We're going to do that stuff. The opening drive will consist of both college football and NFL action. We'll be covering all sorts of stuff. So you'll see a mix of both items. On our episode that will drop probably either Wednesday night or Thursday morning, what you're going to hear from us is going to be more of a predictions kind of thing. You're going to hear maybe from Joel Norris to take on college picks. You're going to hear from maybe an NFL analyst to get their take on what's going on in the NFL. You're going to get our bets for our betting segment, which we are very excited to announce. I guess we can announce that now. We have partnered up with Underdog Fantasy. The folks at Underdog Fantasy and us, we've gotten into a partnership. We're going to be promoting some lovely picks that we're going to have. It's going to be great. We're going to be sharing those with you guys. We encourage you guys to sign up. If you guys sign up at Underdog Fantasy, please use the code Red Zone Blitz. Right now, if you play $5, you got a $50 bonus. They are also giving a first deposit match of up to $1,000 on a 50% deposit match. So please go ahead and sign up now. Join us on our journey as we provide you some of the greatest picks that one can get. We also have another partnership to announce. The lovely folks, Hello StubHub. We're still working out our promo code. We're still working that out right now. But the lovely folks at StubHub and us, we've partnered up. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So when you're looking for your tickets, you know where to go. So our Thursday episodes are going to be much more predictions, much more picks, much more of that preview episode for the week ahead. We're going to try to do that for both college and NFL. We're going to have a lot more fantasy talk in that episode. We're going to be talking a lot more about sleepers, all sorts of stuff, people you should stash. Whereas our Monday and Sunday episode will probably be taking care of more of like waiver wires, you should be targeting this upcoming week and all that lovely good stuff. So going into it, week 1, gentlemen. The biggest headlines, I think it's just right we start from there. Matthew, what give us a little breakdown. I know I mentioned some of them, but if I missed any of them, I know you want to talk about LSU, Clemson. Yeah. This is your time, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, there was a ton of matchups to watch regarding teams that were ranked. If you were like us, we watched Texas, Ohio State. Huge game to watch, 1 versus 3 in the shoe. In my opinion, though, the biggest one with the biggest playoff implications going into this weekend was LSU versus Clemson, the battle of the Death Valleys.
Yes, sir.
So there's a ton of big questions regarding Brian Kelly and how he can fit in with that LSU culture and if he can even get it done with carrying that defense to have success against big-named ranked opponents. And for LSU, it's just this year and last year, they struggled just with tackling. It was all they just had to do was just complete tackles, gang tackles, just get the guy down, stop the run. It was as simple as that. And their defense came up huge when it mattered most. In the final 2 minutes of the game with the backs against the wall, and Coach Kelly was not shy to call out Dabo Swinney for his team not showing up at all in the second half. Like, that LSU defense didn't allow any points in the second half of this game, and that was a big question mark going into this game and for the entire year. So they had them shut out. I believe they went in a half 10-3 and then ended up getting the win 17-10. And I think Garrett Nussmeier balled out in this one, guys. 28 for 38, 232 yards and a touchdown. And the one that really mattered the most, just, hey, throw it up there and get that 6'7" receiver just to get the ball. Like that's something, that's putting trust in your receiver. But for him to place that ball in the spot that it needs it, and this is a bit of a hot take, but I think it's not crazy of a hot take. I think Garrett Nussmeier, in my opinion, would be the front runner for me for Heisman. In terms of just the watch,
I don't doubt it. I think we walked in with some Arch Manning hype going around for Heisman, but Garrett Nussmeier, he was right there.
Oh yeah,
he was right there, and a lot of people, if you have not watched the SEC doc on Netflix, I highly encourage you watch that. In between now and I guess whenever you get spare time with football coming around the corner. But Garrett Nussmeier had a decision to make last year where he could have gone out to the NFL draft. He could have declared. He could have left. He could have entered the portal. He could have done a whole lot of things. He wanted to come back because he said it was unfinished business. He wants to win. He wants to win in LSU. He wants to win the Heisman. That was one of the goals that he's embarked on. And you know what? Like, Cade Klubnik, watching that game, there were spurts in there where I'm like, you know what? Cade Klubnik, he looks like a decent quarterback. He's making smart decisions. But then there's that X factor. And there's that when that quarterback takes over the game, the ice in the veins. I just didn't see that from Club. I didn't see that from any other quarterback other than Mr. Castellanos at FSU that really took over a high-stakes game like that other than Nussmeier. So Nussmeier was making big-time throws. Sorry, Carson Beck. I know you took down Notre Dame, but still, Nussmeier, you're on something with that.
Yeah, like to add to that, Cade Klubnik, great quarterback, 230 passing yards in that game. But like you said, when it mattered most, that one throw in the game, I believe it was in the second half, he got pressured and he wasn't, I mean, the guy defender was going to sack him, yes, but he almost panicked. Yeah. He didn't step up and then step into his throw. He just kind of threw the ball way up in the air. And then it was just an easy pick for the LSU defender. So I think after this week, LSU might talk about it later, but they're going up from 9-3. And that's the thing. Like, last year was all this offense is crazy. They're really good. The defense had a ton of questions. I'm going to ask you guys with this one, is Clemson one-dimensional, though? Because 230 passing yards, but they only had 31 rushing yards. So do you think that's a red flag for these guys? Do you think
I don't know if it's so much that. I just think LSU just came prepared. They were more prepared. And they went in there, and they looked like LSU.
They looked like a coach whose job was on the line. Yeah, because the game, like Brandon was saying off recording, he was saying that the game scoreboard was not inhibitive of like what the game actually was. It was
that score. Like if you look at the score, sure, it's a one possession game. But like you watch the game.
You saw Brian Kelly. They would pan to Brian Kelly anytime something would happen, and you just saw his face would just be like, like this again, and like you could tell that they were very, very prepared. Like to your point, LSU came ready to play a football game. Clemson's not.
Was that a touchdown?
I think so. Yeah.
Was that a touchdown?
I would say so.
I think that was a touchdown.
Give it to him. But yeah, no. If I'm a Clemson fan, after what I saw from both Florida State and Miami, I would be a little bit concerned right now. Things are not looking very good. It's just, unfortunately, that is the way it plays out, and it's maybe they get it together. Maybe they figure their stuff out. But suddenly, by lovely troops of the ACC. Suddenly we got ourselves a conference, don't we? We have ourselves something to look at, something to cheer for. Anything else from you, Matthew?
That's it for me on this segment.
Yeah. Oh, man, upsets. I'm supposed to talk about upsets. Well, we kind of brushed on it earlier. Florida State took down Alabama. Kalen DeBoer, guys, head coach of Alabama, took over for Nick Saban. Before the game, Nick Saban predicted that Alabama would not be like last year. They would be much more well prepared. They would be a whole different team. It's not a gray area anymore. It's black or white. You need wins. A lot of cliches were thrown around. The reality is Kalen DeBoer has 4 losses at Alabama as a 14-point favorite in 14 games as a head coach. Nick Saban lost 3 of those games in 139 games. It's making it hard not to compare DeBoer with Brian Harsin, who was another coach from the Northwest who came to the SEC with no SEC ties. And Brandon, you mentioned this. There are a lot of conferences out there. There's a lot of football that gets played every single week. There is only one SEC. And I know Ohio State. I know those players are going, SEC what? What SEC who? The SEC is still a scary conference to play in, and most importantly, coach in. Harsin left Boise State for Auburn, and he didn't last 2 years. However, oh my God, Alabama fans, DeBoer's got a $70 million buyout. They ain't paying that.
No.
You guys are stuck with DeBoer for a while now. It is going to be tough. And if you guys keep sliding the way you are sliding, the recruiting will stop. The boosters will stop. The empire has been.
The empire's fallen.
The empire has fallen. The empire.
If you listen to some of the fans, the empire has fallen.
Yeah.
It's over.
Like, listen, Alabama, dominance. Almost dominant. Like, I would compare them to the Patriots.
Yep. That's a fair comparison.
The dominance of Alabama is very, very akin to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady dominating in New England, Foxborough. However, the one caveat and what makes college football so elite and so special, you can't keep your players forever. They go on and graduate.
That's the beauty of college football, though.
And you have to keep on going. You got to churn out talent. You got to make sure people buy into the system. They buy into the school. They buy into the reality that you're not living in downtown Miami making your $5 million NIL deal. You are living in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, sir. And we've talked about this before when we did the SEC preview and we had the Cam Newton clip. Everybody knows who the quarterback of Alabama is at Alabama. Everybody knows who the starting cheerleader is or the head cheerleader. Everybody knows who the defensive coordinator is, and they know his son, and they know what kind of color he puts on for game days. It's fucking Alabama colors. And the pressure on Alabama is at an all-time fucking high. It is not going to go away. If they think that they can go out and they could win against some teams, I'm sorry. Like, I can tell you, let's go through Alabama's schedule before we... shout out to Alabama. They got the Space Command from Colorado. Shout out to them. I know they're not going to be happy about that, but whatever. They are playing Louisiana Monroe. Must win. Would you guys say must win?
Oh, yeah.
If they lose that game, there's a real problem.
So that's must win. Then you go out and you play Wisconsin.
They should win that game.
Must win.
I mean, they should win that game.
That's a winnable game. We're going must win. Then they go out and they play fucking Georgia.
Georgia doesn't lose at home. Lose at home, so good luck.
So if you don't win the next 2 games...
But who's after Georgia? Wait, who's after Georgia?
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're building to it. You're 0-1. Let's say you beat LA Monroe. Louisiana Monroe, you take care of business, you're 1-1. You slip up against Wisconsin, or the slightest, you're 1-2. Now you're going in to Georgia 1-2. I don't think you're walking out of there even. So you're now 1-3, and you're playing Vanderbilt, the team that embarrassed you, that you lost to, that you had no business losing to last season.
And Vanderbilt, this is their championship. I mean, I know, like I said, Diego Pavia's talked his shit, but this is their championship. They want to go in Tuscaloosa and prove they're not the one-hit wonder, like Matthew said. Vanderbilt is pumped, and they're gonna want they've got this game circled. They want this game, and it would be fucking hilarious. The college football world will go insane if Vanderbilt can win again.
And not to rain on their parade, but then they've got Missouri, Tennessee, which not the easiest competition, and then they have South Carolina, LSU. Their schedule does not get easier. It actually gets much harder.
And then they got Oklahoma.
Then they have Eastern Illinois. Sure, okay.
And then it's the Iron Bowl.
And then you've got Auburn.
And then it's the Iron Bowl.
If you're, like, listen, all the power to you. All the power to the fact that this will turn around. Kalen DeBoer, we know nothing. Kalen DeBoer will fix this, and all will be fixed. However, talk about a hot seat, more like he's sitting on a fucking furnace. And it is heating up. It is getting going. We talked about it before. We talked about it with the intro. So Bill Belichick's big college debut at University of North Carolina was supposed to be this historic moment, and instead it became what we saw as a nightmare. The Tar Heels came out swinging. Great 83-yard touchdown drive. Crowds rocking. Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor, Randy Moss all in the building. People are kissing each other, giving out high fives. People are drinking. It's magical time. North Carolina's buzzing like the Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Finals with Cam Ward as their goalie. But after that, baby, it's Horned Frog time. It's Horned Frog time for the rest of the game. The Horned Frogs rattled off 41 straight points, forced turnovers left and right, and basically sent Carolina fans home by the third quarter. Probably the first time there's been traffic at a game leaving in the third quarter in Carolina. Gio Lopez couldn't get anything going. He went more than 2 hours without a completion.
That was a wild one. They posted his last completion, and they showed the time.
Guys, there was two actual hours
of real time
passed by before this dude could get a completion. Not a first down. We're not talking a touchdown. We're not talking a major completion. A completion.
We talked about coaches lining up to humble Bill Belichick. He got straight up humiliated. And every coach now is it's my turn. It's my turn.
The boys are buzzing.
And to mention with Gio Lopez, even the passing game was bad. His rushing game, he was 7 rushes for minus 10 yards.
Absolutely nothing was happening.
Nothing was going
Belichick, they panned the camera to him a bunch of times. He looked stone-faced the whole time like it was another cold day in Foxborough. TCU, veteran squad. Josh Hoover, balled out. A lot of veterans on that team. They look like a Big 12 contender. UNC looked like they are not built for this. And Bill Belichick better get his shit together because he just took the worst defensive beating of probably his entire coaching career. And what the fuck's his girlfriend doing on the sidelines? Why is she on the sidelines in the middle of the game? Can you imagine a Patriots coordinator back in the heyday of the Tom Brady Patriots with a coordinator having his wife or girlfriend on the sidelines in the middle of a game?
You know what Bill would have said to that?
Bill would have
fired him on the spot.
Yeah, Bill would have been, give me the fucking play sheet or give me the fucking clipboard and go home. Bill, you're getting soft, buddy.
He has no say anymore. Not for anything.
Well, he hired his son who looked like he had no fucking answers.
And Freddie fucking Kitchens.
He is just fucking terrible. I really hope that there's not a whole bunch of people that donated their money to this school and we're in hopes and aspirations.
Oh, but I bet there was.
Oh, I don't want the delusion to be there. And I just feel like I saw the crowd was buzzing and I saw people were giddy with joy. And I'm like, can you imagine how great it must have felt to be a Horned Frog at that moment? To just kill them.
Yeah, they played great.
They played great. They played awesome.
Hoover
balled out, and they played great. And most importantly, they got the job done. And I guess we can have a peek at the good old Tar Heel schedule before we move on. See who they're facing next. They've got Charlotte. After that, it's Richmond. They've got a lot of winnable games here. And they got UCF. That might be a little bit more challenging than they probably anticipated. I think Clemson is going to wipe the floor with Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Cade Klubnik is going to have the best game of his life. Clemson might actually be able to run the ball.
They probably would.
They might actually be able to get 100 yards. And then they play California. California's going to take care of UNC too. Virginia will take care of UNC. Syracuse will definitely take care of UNC. Stanford, you might have the all smart people bowl, and they might fuck that up. And then Wake Forest, I can see Wake Forest taking care of UNC too. Honestly, I don't believe it for a second UNC can do anything. Duke's going to beat the brakes.
Beat them.
I think they might get like
Duke versus UNC is going to be the ultimate basketball bowl of Duke just taking a big old shit on UNC. And Brandon's a Duke fan.
Love it. Let's
so
go.
It'll be great. UNC, NC State. Oh, God. Bill's quit by then. Bill's quit by then. He's interviewing for the Bengals job. If you know, you know. Enough about Bill. Enough about the upsets. Over to you, Brandon. What do you got?
So some of the QB debuts, some new faces, some delivered, some look completely lost. A couple of guys just to mention, Jackson Arnold from Auburn, the QB out transfer from OU. Not so much through the air. Just went 11 for 17 with 108 yards. But on the ground, he rushed for 16 attempts, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Auburn looked good. Another guy, Miami QB, obviously Carson Beck, transfer from Georgia. 20 for 31, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bryce Underwood looked good. 21 out of 31, 251 yards with a touchdown. We are shitting on Alabama, but Ty Simpson really didn't have. No,
he actually good.
He didn't have that bad of a game. 23 out of 43. That's a lot of passes, though. 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then there's Arch. Shit the bed. 17 for 30, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He added, 10 rushing yards or 38 rushing yards on 10 attempts. But, Sane didn't really look that much better. He was, but not by that much. 13 out of 20, 126 yards, 1 touchdown. Arch, buddy. Although, I'll talk about that a little bit more in the next segment. But
Of course. The only guy that I would add to your great points, only person I would really add to that is Sawyer Robertson. You talked about the Auburn game. Not a bad showing for the kid. He threw over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Baylor is not going to do outstanding things.
He wasn't making his debut, though.
That is true. That is true. There is only one Arch. There's only one Arch. Conference check-ins. All right. Matthew, Big 12, what do you have for us?
Yeah, well, the big thing with the Big 12 is now that Texas and Oklahoma are gone, who's going to be the big contender that comes out of that one? And I'll ask, and that is a question for everyone here. In my opinion, I like Ohio State, guys. Ohio State. Iowa State.
Of course you like Ohio State. Of course you do.
No.
Rubbing it in.
No. Just rubbing it in.
Iowa State, you said?
Yes, Iowa State. Sorry, Iowa State. With Rocco Beck, man. This guy's going insane. 19 for 20, 278 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they went over to Dublin. They take care of business against the 17-ranked team, Kansas State. And then they come back and they just blow the brakes off. They blow the brakes off South Dakota 55-7. So, looking at their schedule, it's not too crazy, but come November, the big games I'm looking at is Arizona State versus TCU in Week 10 and Week 11. I think those are going to be the 3 teams in the Big 12. Those are the teams that I'm looking at. It's going to be Sam Leavitt, Josh Hoover, Rocco Beck. Those are going to be who's going to come out on top, who's going to be the best QB, and who's going to lead their team in that one. But I really like what Iowa State's got going on there.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about Kansas? They're a scoring machine.
They don't
Kansas
stop. They're pumping things out. Just not stop. And I do want to give a shout out to my boy Prime. I think definitely not the game he wanted in terms of his first game. I don't think that's probably what anybody that cheers for Colorado really wanted. But I think he's going to get it on track. And I think he's not going to make it to the point where they're contending right away and they're right in it and everything's happening. But I do think that they're gonna make sure some things happen there in Colorado. So definitely hoping for him, rooting for him, I would say. What about the big bad SEC, Brandon? What do you got?
So you take out Texas, you take out Bama. The SEC went 14-0.
Well,
so
it's a beautiful way of pointing it. Yes, that is true.
So the SEC did their job, except for Texas and Alabama. We already talked about it. LSU, they look like the real deal. That's finally they get a season opener win since 2019. 2019, yeah. Kelly, we finally got it done. We talked about Nussmeier. Durham, you can add to that. 74 yards and a touchdown. Again, we talked about the score doesn't mean anything to what that game actually was, especially in the second half. LSU just dominated them. Now, Texas, man. Now, everyone's shitting on Arch, and rightfully so. He did not have a good game. But I'm going to put the majority of the blame on Sarkisian. His play calling was straight up dog shit. I mean, sure, you're going up against Matt Patricia. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator.
I don't want to hear big praise from Matt Patricia.
No,
people are giving him like
no,
fucking sun in the moon. But yes,
you know what?
Going.
Head coach, he sucks. There's some guys that are just made out for a certain job, and defensive coordinator is his calling, and that's it. Sarkisian had nothing for him. He was saying that his disguises were top notch, and again, it's the big games. Sark gets out coached in these big games. Now, I don't think he set Arch up for any type of success. Gee, what were you saying you wanted to see Texas do all game?
I mean, I was screaming for motions. That's what I was doing, and I've watched the Cowboys long enough to know that like there's a certain Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett type of doing things, which is you run the ball on every first down. Inside zone, you're going to run it in. Everybody knows you're going to do it. It's going to be the same thing, the same play. You're not going to get a lot of yards. Second down, you're going to maybe try to trick them. Oh, we're not going to pass the ball. We're not going to do anything. We're going to run it again. Ha ha. You get stuffed again. Now the whole world and their mom knows that you're going to throw it on third down. You end up getting an incompletion or a sack. Now you're punting again. So that's kind of the theme of what I was expecting from Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett. Was I expecting it from the number one ranked team in the nation going into last Saturday? No, I was not expecting that, but that is what I got. Yes.
And I wanted some play action. There was a couple, I can't remember the exact plays, but I was like, this is a perfect spot for some play action. Nothing. Another fucking pass downfield into triple coverage or the interception. Those are terrible throws. Play action, man.
I understand that they were trying to, like, I get it. Like, I watched the game again because I like misery. Because I was like, oh, well, might as well watch it again. I get it. You know what? Caleb Downs is on the field. I understand.
But if you watched Texas last year, I mean, again, there were, I guess, lower competition, but
Brandon,
you saw what Arch can do.
You're going to have a Caleb Downs on every team. You're going to have a fucking stud. You're going to have a Jeremiah Smith on every single team. You're going to have stud players when you play in big time games because you play in the SEC now. You're Texas. You're going to play big games. You're going to go up against big players. I don't understand why the hell we don't trust, we as in the Texas Longhorns, do not trust their own players to make plays.
Like, I think they were going way too conservative, like you said, with trying to protect, but I think they were going way too conservative. You saw at the end, finally, they let them throw down.
They were pinned. They had Ohio State pinned on their own with less than 10 yards. And you get them in the end zone, it's a safety, right? They had them there. And these guys were playing such passive defense that, like, it was a nice, easy dink and dory way for them to get out of that hole and move it down the field.
But with Arch on the goal line, he never had a chance. You saw the box line, how it was stacked. How are you think Arch was scoring that? No.
Why are we sending the freshman who has not gone into it? He started games last year. I understand. Thank you to the 4 people that are going to message us and email us saying, he started games last year. You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's got to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not deflecting the fact that Arch Manning was jittery in the first few throws, and he made some throws he probably shouldn't have made, and whatever. Why are we throwing the freshman into a situation That is such a low percentage play. Why don't we just get our big guys in there and run the fucking ball? I don't understand why we need to run this stupid, and I blame the stupid fucking Eagles for this stupid tush-push nonsense bullshit that they keep running every fucking Sunday. They're probably going to run on Thursday, is the reason why teams have suddenly gone away from just, they have their big guys. Bring your big guys. Let's pound the football in. Let's see who wins. If their running back had lost that and they had gotten stuffed, I would have been okay with it. But then you have Arch Manning doing, he didn't even make it past to where the line of scrimmage was. He lost 2 yards. I don't understand. This is the new age NFL of people like imitating other coaches, and I don't understand it.
But even then, they didn't even run any screen. I think the first screenplay they ran was that tight end screen in the third quarter.
Yes. Did you hear me scream? Finally, that was the first time they ran a screen. Yes.
Now, with all that shit being said, really, that game still was a winnable game. Now everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Penalties, man. Penalties were the true story of the game. The Longhorns stopped them on the third down, was going to be a punt, hands to the face.
Yes.
Then they go down, they score the touchdown. Now, I'm pretty sure it was after when Arch got stuffed. Holding in the end zone. That is the safety. Yep. Oh, wait. Another hands to the face. Penalties negate each other. That should have been a safety.
You not only lost possession, you lost 2 points.
And the ball back.
Exactly, the ball back.
That changes everything.
Yeah. And like, I listen, I'm sure there are other calls that went the other way and that didn't get called. And like, I'm sure I get it. But it's not to say that Ohio State wasn't beatable. And I think, Matthew, you probably agree with that. Like, watching that game, Ohio State looked very beatable throughout that game.
Yeah, I think one thing that frustrates me when I was watching that game, and I'm not a Texas fan, but it's coming out of an injury or a TV timeout. And Sark has like just a check down pass to the running back, like a screen with no blockers. And it's like you're facing a big 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7. You got to throw the ball downfield. Like, Arch has an arm. You got to trust that. And that was another thing that concerned me a little bit with Arch, is seeing him before he got down into his stance to hut the ball, is he's just looking straight down. He has it in his mind, like, this is the play. Yeah. This is the hot route. I'm going to look down. I'm going to look up. That's my number one.
Not a lot of improvisation going on there.
Didn't read a defense. All right. Didn't read a defense. Didn't throw the ball downfield until late in the game. Like, in the fourth quarter, that's when they really let it loose, and he had that beautiful pass in the end zone for the touchdown. Like, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. I don't want to see check down passes coming out of a timeout. And part of that goes for both of them, for Sark and Manning. And they got to sort that out.
Sark talked about that in his post-game presser. I don't have the clip on me. It's bad producing by my part. I should probably have it loaded up. But he talked about maybe he needs to trust Arch a little bit more and let him loose and be okay with letting him loose.
Yep.
No shit.
And 1 for 5 on 4th down. 1 for 5.
But I know they're going to rip it against San Jose State.
Oh, like I said, the teams that Sarkisian is supposed to beat, he's going to take care of business. It's the big games.
They're going to rip San Jose. I feel
I'm with Brandon. I mean, I don't care if they, like LSU, I don't care if they beat up on small teams. I want the big games.
Yeah, but hey, Prab's a listener of ours in San Jose. I need you to maybe make a care package for the football team at San Jose State, because they are going to get absolutely their shit rocked this Saturday. A full house in DKR, and I would expect nothing less. But yes, no, to your point. Yes, moving on. Anything else for the good old folks at SEC?
Just straight up, the last one was bombing, like we talked about. After that first touchdown, nothing good happened after that. I mean, sure, a couple plays, but they got bullied. Like, they got absolutely bullied. Like I said, Bama's not happy. We just talked about DeBoer ain't going anywhere. I mean, they're calling for his head already.
No, you're $70
million buyout.
That's
is there anyone in Alabama that's going to come up with this? Say, you know what? I'll give you $70 million. Buy this fucker out. He's gone.
Richest person in Alabama. net worth. Let's make a little plea.
Is it Brett Favre?
The richest person is Jimmy Rain, the founder and CEO of Great Southern Wood Preserving. Okay. No, look at Jim. He looks like the guy. Have you guys watched Friday Night Lights?
Yes.
You know the guy who owns the car dealership?
Yeah.
He does.
He looks exactly like the guy who owns the car dealership.
Rip you off.
He's exactly like. Okay, Jimmy Rain, listen. All right, let me talk to Jimmy here. Hello, Jimmy. This is G from the Red Zone Blitz. You don't know me. I don't know you. You're probably wondering what this man is doing on his podcast talking to you right now. Jimmy, we need $70 million. I don't know how you're going to provide that $70 million, Jimmy, but we need that yesterday. We need that $70 million, and we need that to find a new head coach.
He went to Auburn.
Oh, that ain't happening. He's probably loving it.
Never mind.
He is loving this.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
And then I saw somewhere, I think they already saying they've got odds on Gruden and Jimbo Fisher being the next coach of Alabama. It's like, do you really want that though? You get rid of DeBoer. Do you want to go to Gruden? Or do you want to go?
Yes.
Do you want to go to Jimbo Fisher?
Listen,
I don't want Jimbo. I like Gruden, but I don't know if he's got. It's like a Belichick thing. I don't know if he could coach today.
He's beautiful. He's ready to go.
He's too deep into the Barstool's black hole.
Buddy, can you? Point. That's what. How do you think they're going to afford the Kellen DeBoer buyout? You're going to get the nice sponsorship money that John Gruden's going to have. It's going to be beautiful. He's going to be teaching kids how to do their cadences. It's going to be nice. But yeah, there's no way in hell. I mean, should we try one more? Wealthiest people in Alabama. Let's try one more. Maybe.
How about wealthiest Alabama donor?
Let's see. Okay. Other than list, there's only one billionaire in Alabama.
It's only Jimmy Rain.
Oh God. Okay. The wealthiest resident in Alabama. Okay. So it's Jimmy Rain. He's the state's only billionaire.
Look up wealthiest Alabama booster donor. That'll give you a list.
Wealthiest donor booster for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's see. It's Nick Saban. Is not publicly available. Marnix X.
If you want to see who owns them, you can just Google Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then
what was it?
Wait, no, you can go. What? Hold on, no,
it's also
Florida State that owns.
Yeah,
Marnix E. Heersink, a doctor in Alabama, has donated quite a lot of money to the Crimson Tide. They're in trouble. I can't even find he had $100 million donation. Sir, we're gonna need another 70. We're gonna need another 70 from you, good sir.
If Kansas can get a booster from David Booth to give Kansas
the hockey player
300.
No, he can't have 300 million.
$300 million to Kansas. Alabama can find someone to come up with $70 million.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have people fucking trying to kill themselves and riot.
Fuck, if you put up a GoFundMe page, you'd get every Alabama fan right now pitching in money. You could come up with some of it.
Guys, should we start a GoFundMe for the folks at Alabama?
Fuck no.
Okay, all right. I guess that's it.
They had their fun.
Yeah, that's that. That's their fun. All right, moving on. Let's move
They're
on.
Probably still calling Nick Saban though right now.
Dude, I bet Nick Saban's getting little love letters.
Yeah.
Please come back.
He's getting four phone calls in the morning.
Mr. Saban, we miss you. The Big Ten. So the Big Ten's interesting because you got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Oregon. Someone's gonna miss the playoffs out of these lovely teams. Let's talk about it. First of all, Ohio State. They're not missing the playoffs.
No.
Next up, Penn State. So they beat Nevada 46-11. They stayed at number 2 in the AP poll, which came out today, by the way. A lot of people are upset. They're projected to be a 12-1, and they're relatively going to make the playoffs. The only catch is they're going to face Michigan and Ohio State once before the season ends. Those games will basically decide whether they're a top 4 seed or sweating it out at 11-2. Here's where it gets interesting. Michigan. So they crushed New Mexico, but the numbers not looking good. ESPN's FPI actually dropped them 5 spots down at 20th overall. Their playoff odds, 17.1%. That's not just behind Ohio State and Penn State. That's behind programs like Oregon and even Miami. So while they're winning, the metrics say, no, we don't trust you yet, cheaters. Ha 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 ha. Fuck you, Portnoy. Oregon. Oregon blew out Montana. Also, did you guys see Oregon's mascot doing a full face plant and losing his head?
Off? Oh, man.
Poor guy. This is why I didn't pick you guys in my bracket to pick a team. Your mascot can't even keep his head on. Beating an FCS school doesn't really move the playoff needle a whole lot. They're still ranked as a top 10 team, but their schedule has one landmine circled, and that is September 27th at Penn State. Right now, that's the only projected loss they have on their slate. So if they end up beating Penn State at home, or on the road, I guess, while Penn State is at home, that's going to be huge. I still think the team that's going to miss out is Michigan, and people might kill me later, but that's my prediction on it.
I'm not high on Oregon either.
Neither am I.
So maybe both miss.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them both. Matthew, you talked about a little bit about Heisman's. Do you guys have any picks after week 1?
Well, my breakout start picks is going to be Nussmeier.
Oh, baby. This guy's getting a Nussmeier jersey before the end of the season. Yeah. He's fully committing to the bit here.
I mean, if you want the overreaction of week 1, I mean, it's Castellanos.
Oh.
Nah, he didn't. But,
as I said, if you say overreaction of week 1, he's not going to.
Okay, yes.
But, yeah, solidified Nussmeier.
Okay. All right. Well, how quick we are to forget. How quick we are to forget greatness. How quick we are to forget expectations that were laid on the shoulders of a young man who had his choice when committing to schools. He had his choice when he was a young teenager, young bloke, barely hitting puberty. He had coaches lined up. Lane Kiffin, he lined up for him. You had Georgia. They painted their bodies for him. The entire nation watched on Saturday what happened between the Ohio State University and the university that plays out of Austin, Texas. There were monumental expectations on a lot of Texas players, but none less than Arch Manning. A lot of people have fallen off the grace of Arch Manning becoming a Heisman winner in this season. A lot of people have written him off as being a bust. A lot of people have written him off as being basically the country boy version of Shedeur Sanders, minus the Rolex. A lot of people have said that, he's good. He's nothing special. Well, this is where we come along. I am not hopping off the bandwagon yet, folks. Give me Arch Manning for Heisman. Give me Arch Manning for Comeback Player of the Year if they have that award. Give me Arch Manning for National Champion. We are still riding with the Texas Longhorns. We are still riding with Steve Sarkisian. That's my boy. The dripped out coach that he is with his ugly sponsorship patch on his left shoulder. But most importantly, we're still riding with Arch Manning. The Red Zone Blitz over here. We are still riding with Arch Manning. Do you hear me?
Oh, yeah. No, like you said,
it's week 1. It's week 1.
But
he's got some things to prove.
Oh, he's got some things to prove.
And he's going to prove them.
But again, like I said, I don't think that game plan, whatever game plan Sark had for him, that did not set Arch up for any sort of success.
Yes.
They got to have that conversation. That's a conversation Arch has to initiate and say, look, man, this is what we need to do. And go back, like I said, go back and watch what he played. He showed what he can do. Yes, it was against lesser, but that's what he can do. You did not give him an opportunity to do any of that shit. So figure it out, Sark.
There you go. There it is. There it is. That's it for our opening drive. What an opening drive, ladies and gentlemen. What my co-hosts, they have come out to. They are not fucking around. It is week 1. We're on the bar.
It's go time, baby.
It's go time. They are not screwing around. Let's go into the NFL quick hits before we go into the blitz. Should I go first?
Go for it.
Fantasy football. It's coming up. Your drafts are here. It's almost a blissful time. Well, listen, you're probably looking like, hey, what am I doing? What's going on? This is my strategy for you. I'm going to give you a little tip. I can't give you too many tips. Our league has not drafted yet. They draft tomorrow. Here's your tip. All right. You're not going to take a defense. That's your first tip. All right. You're going to take Jalen Crocker. Last pick. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jalen Cocker, sorry. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. You're going to put him on your IR. He's gonna come back. He's gonna be dynamite for you. All right, that's my one tip for you guys. Stay tuned for more tips like that. That is a quick and easy. That's something that you can do if you have not drafted yet. If you have already drafted and you have an empty IR spot, what the hell are you doing? Go search your waiver wire right now. Get that kid on your IR spot. Put him in there. Wait until he's activated. Bryce Young is going to have an absolute dynamite season this year. Bryce Young is going to be absolutely buzzing this year. Now, do I have Bryce Young as a keeper? Yes, I do. He's going to be buzzing. All right. You know what? We talked a lot about Micah Parsons last week. Matthew?
We did.
What you talk about Micah Parsons this week?
You want me to talk about Micah Parsons? I will. I mean, I always have to. Anytime.
Well, his back looks better.
I can. Well,
something about the cheese in Wisconsin makes your back just. Actually, I might have to go down there, see what kind of back treatments they're offering.
Well, that's the thing. He still has that joint sprain, and he may need an injection before Sunday's game against the Lions.
Sure.
So, I don't know.
Sure, he does.
Maybe he was laying on that table.
Oh,
maybe that table.
Was eating all those nachos.
Yes, maybe that gave him a little bit of pain.
He ate all the cheese off the nachos and was like, "Yep, Green Bay is where I'm destined to be."
But this whole, I'll just give a take on this with the Parsons and the ripple effect for what it does for Packers and Cowboys. I just think a lot of people are very high on the Packers defense right now, and I don't see why. I think you're paying a guy $120 million guaranteed, and he hasn't done anything. Okay?
That's one playoff sack, sir.
Yeah, and with this whole back injury thing, once he gets there on the field, we don't know what's going on with his back. How do we know that one bump, one hit isn't just going to send him right back to the bench? We have no idea.
It's also colder in Green Bay.
Yeah,
you're also playing in colder weather.
Mm-hmm. The body seizes up.
Oh, no. No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Brandon, how about you? Talk to us. Some quarterbacks happening. Some people named starters. Some people are named number 2s and 3s. What's going on over there in the quarterback land?
Well, with quarterbacks, I mean, everyone already knows who's been named. I think one of the biggest is still Danny Dimes over Anthony Ridge. I still can't get over that.
Dude, it's actually
the Colts will get over it. Because they're probably going to switch back and forth.
Colts are probably going to have to draft a quarterback here this year, aren't they?
More just a couple things. Jackson Dart getting the number 2 over Jameis Winston.
Yep.
J.K. Dobbins has been named the starting running back over R.J. Harvey.
Yep.
And then with more depth, Commanders, they traded Robinson to the 49ers to make... now, this is a little bit controversial, depending on what site you look at. They've got... 7th round, Ja'Cory or Bill. Krosky Merritt is the number 2 behind Eckler. If you've watched him, he's got some explosive plays, some explosive runs. Some others have Jeremy McNichols in the number 2, but I think it's Bill is taking that number 2 spot. And Hunter Renfrow back with the Panthers. As I was saying, they let him go. They had no veteran leadership. Now, if you have kids, you'll understand the story, but the Panthers were trying to call him over and over and over.
Yeah.
And his little one was watching Bluey, so the little one's watching ignore. I'm watching Bluey.
I'm trying to get my own thing going here.
Just a funny little story about that, but it's good to see Hunter Renfrow back with them. Gives them just that little bit of veteran presence when they're all going young.
Yep. There you go. That's our NFL segment. Now we're going to go into the Blitz. And for those, new to the show, the Blitz is where we react quickly, almost like a blitz. We come at you hard. That's what she said.
The Blitz.
All right, fellas. Everyone loves our listener mailbags. Here we go. We have some short. We're not going to take too long to answer these. First one's from Toronto. Shout out to the 6. Shout out Canada. Jesse in Toronto, do you guys think the running back market is ever going to bounce back, or should young running backs start switching positions in high school if they want to get paid? I mean, this is an interesting one. I was actually listening to Nightcap yesterday, and they talked a little bit about how the contracts for running backs, you don't actually get paid as much as a running back, especially compared to wide receivers and quarterbacks, but your overall length of your career is so much shorter. I look at only real guy that I can think of that got paid is Ezekiel Elliott with the same team that he was drafted with. Usually guys have to go to a different place to get paid, like Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. So I think the next one's probably going to be like Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a big one. Bijan Robinson's going to be a big name to watch. What I think, actually, my opinion with this, and let me know if you guys agree, I think your eligibility for running backs out of college should be 1 year. I think you should be able to go and declare for the draft if you are like Jeremiah Love, for example, in Notre Dame. I think there's a very good case that Jeremiah Love could be in the NFL this year. But I think because there's those rules, I almost think like position-based, like running backs should be allowed to go to the NFL sooner because their earning income years are so much less, because once they hit a certain age or certain amount of miles on their body, they don't get paid. Another example of this is Derrick Henry, who you would think the Titans would have lined up everything to pay, but they didn't. He walked away too. So I don't know. For me, I think it's like the answer is almost like you're dealing with a bunch of billionaire owners who are probably not going to pay. They're going to try to get out of whatever they can. And I think like it's unfortunate because running the football is such an impactful part of the game. But my solution is you got to let them out at college a year early.
This is my opinion on this. And I think the reason you're saying go early out of college to football was because back then they ran the ball a lot more and they didn't pass the ball as much. So a lot of the rock was being given to these running backs to just hit up the middle, and they were just getting like wrecked just by these big linemen, and it was just taking a toll on their bodies.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, in this case, I think the way that the running backs are going to bounce back is just kind of like what you see with quarterbacks, and you're seeing these running QBs. So I think with running backs, you're going to see more scat backs, guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of north-south guys.
Yeah, and that I think is what's going to bring back the running back position, is if they can play receiver and catch the ball out of the backfield, then you're going to see running backs longer careers maybe, and just getting the ball more, and then room for even getting paid more.
It's just hard because, like you said, the running back, your career, like your prime, is only a few years.
Yeah, the first few years.
You look at Zeke, I mean,
those beautiful times.
But then he couldn't do anything after that. Like, he couldn't find a hole. He couldn't get anything. No explosive plays. He couldn't get anything.
Yeah, I still remember when Zeke, like, the wheels were starting to fall off, and I was in denial. And it was right around the time Tony Pollard came into the league, and everyone was like, oh my God, Tony Pollard is this and that and the other. But the running backs do a lot more than just run the ball. They block. The blocking that Zeke used to do for Dak was like, you would see Tony Pollard
some shots, man.
You would see Tony Pollard try to block for Dak, and it would just like he just let the guy walk right by him into the quarterback. But Zeke took a lot of shots.
Zeke would pick up blitzes, and he would take that shot. He would stand on a brick fucking wall for Dak. And man, did he... But that's, they said, the mileage on the bodies, man. He took some big fucking shots.
I really hope he retires a Cowboy. And I'd shout out Zeke. I'd love that guy.
Same thing like Todd Gurley. Explosive for a few years.
That was another one.
You got Le'Veon Bell as another example. You even have guys like Cordell Patterson. Like Cordell Patterson, like fantasy football guys will know. Atlanta, he was doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
He was doing kickoff returns. He was doing every single down. It was a wild time to be a Cordell Patterson owner in fantasy football. But it was interesting because like you watch them and they go to other teams and things happen and like people change. That's why like I feel like there will always be a market for generational people. Like Jahmyr Gibbs generational. There's a reason why Detroit traded up to get him. But Detroit's also running two different types of running backs. They're running a Jahmyr Gibbs and a David Montgomery.
Yep.
Ashton Genty will be interesting. I'm curious to see how he's used in Las Vegas, but also like the production.
Yeah, because they also have Mostert.
Yeah, they also have Mostert, but like you also have like guys like A-Chain, for example, in Miami, who's just pure pass catching. So it's gonna be it's like we didn't really fucking answer the question, but yeah, like I think like there's still gonna be a market for running backs, but I think the position evolves. You see it all the time. Quarterbacks evolved.
Yep.
You're gonna see wide receivers evolve. You're gonna see like DK Metcalf is huge. Like, are you going to see huge built wide receivers coming out? And, like, is that going to be the new trend? Are you going to see guys that are going to be, like, short, really short guys coming out? Like, Turpin is super short. Deuce Vaughn, my boy Deuce Vaughn, he's like 5'5". And he's a running back. So it's like, do you see those trends coming in? But moving on. We talked a lot about Alabama today, fellas. Dylan from Tuscaloosa. Nice. We have a listener from Tuscaloosa. Nice. Honest question. With Nick Saban gone, is college football actually better off long term, or are we losing the GOAT and the sport just won't be the same?
Look, yeah, no one's replacing Nick Saban, but he saw the writing on the wall when NIL came in, and he was just like, I'm out. I'm done. This, it's not going to be the same. Is it better off long term? Everyone that doesn't like Alabama is going to say yes, but it's just the way it's going. I think it was time for him to go, and he went out on his own terms, and he didn't extend his stay too long. So, and now he's on. Now he's got a cushy broadcasting job
with ESPN.
He ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back. No, sir.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see before with Alabama, it was always they were the top dog. You always had to knock him off. Now that he's gone, now that Alabama is no longer the monster they were, it's like who's gonna be that number one now? You don't really know.
It's Kirby Smart and Ryan Day are the two right now.
Right now, currently, but again, there's not a solidified number one.
No,
is that better?
There's somewhat of a dynasty that was built by Alabama, but that was also because like a lot of people accuse Alabama of paying guys under the table, and a lot of people accuse Alabama of doing some things to get around the rules of what is now NIL. The thing I think that took Saban over the edge and what reason why he will never come back is like when Nick Saban used to go visit a kid at his house, it was like, damn, Nick Saban came to my house, I'm signing with Nick Saban. There are reports that Nick Saban in his final year of recruiting for Alabama went to a bunch of houses. He did his recruiting tours, he did all that stuff. And kids told him, yeah, but like, how much you paying me? Yeah, that's great, Nick, but like, what's the NIL money going to look like? I'm getting offered this from, like, and there were schools that were offering money that were not even in the competition realm of Alabama. And I think that's when Nick Saban kind of looked at it and said, this is more than just about football, and it's a deeper thing. And I think you're not getting them back, but the sport's evolving. Everything's evolving.
Do you think that's better off? That they're going with NIL?
No, I think you're going to come back. I think you're going to come back into a balance. I don't think it's right off for like kids to be risking their brains and not being paid like equally. Like for example, like if I'm, this might be a terrible example, but like I'll use it anyways. If I'm Travis Hunter, right, and I'm selling, people are watching Colorado games because of me. People are wearing Colorado merch because of me. I'm on the cover of EA Sports College Football. I'm getting all sorts of like people coming up for me for autographs. Yeah, why not? Like, why not let you profit? But I think like it's not so much the NIL that's the problem. I think it's a transfer portal. The transfer portal being as open as it is, allowing kids to transfer here, there, everywhere. It's almost like it's crazy. And because like these kids are signing $5 million deals one year and then moving on to jump and ship elsewhere. Like Carson Beck should not be allowed to go to Miami. He should have been forced to stay in Georgia. He should have been like, you signed a deal, son. And it's like, obviously like it's a touchy subject and people are going to be like, well, like there's a freedom to transfer, blah, blah, blah. What if you don't get along with your coach? Yeah, but like you're also coached by like one of the greatest people in Georgia. You're also coached by one of the greatest in like Texas, also coached by the greatest. So I think like to answer your question, I think the sport is definitely going to have to go to a happy medium, especially with the transfer portal. I think they're going to have to figure out a way for guys to be like, hey, man, like, I understand you want to transfer from, like, a middling school. Like, you had a great year at, let's say, sorry ahead, Baylor, for example. And you got an offer from Steve Sarkisian who's like, hey, man, I want you to start for my team. Yes, go transfer. But if you're transferring from LSU to South Carolina just because South Carolina is going to pay you $1 million more, I don't even think that's the right way of doing things. But, yeah, no real answer there. Anyways, moving on. Megan in New Jersey. Shout out New Jersey. Which fan base do you think is the most underrated in football right now? My vote's for the Jags. Duval's been loud for years and nobody gives them respect.
Underrated. You know what?
Cowboys. That's it. That's the answer. End of segment.
Overrated.
No. How dare you? The Colts. No.
For as much as you shit on the Browns fans always show up and they're always loud. So
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
no matter how brown the Browns are, the fans still show up. So
Damn. Jeez Louise. You, Matthew?
I think a lot of people shit on LA Charger fans. And I think a lot of their fan base is still in San Diego.
Damn, poor guys.
But I think, they got a good team this year, and I think they could actually make some noise. And there's a lot, like LA is such a big city.
Yeah.
You're going to get like fans from everywhere travel in.
Yep.
It's that kind of popular place. But I think there's a lot of Charger fans. Like, they're still out there. They might not be in the LA area, but they're definitely around.
That's fair. I mean, for me, what would it be? Let's see. I would say the Titans. I feel like the Titans get a lot of flack for, being irrelevant and not doing anything with their lives. But I think their fan base, like especially the online presence, having like seen the amount of Titans fans that follow us and the engagement that they give, they love their team. They love their Titans. So like a shout out to the Tennessee Titans fans all over the place. Shout out to you guys. Last one, fellas. Natalie in Chicago. You're stuck on a deserted island and can only watch highlights from one player's career. Who are you picking?
You know what?
Matthew's picking Antonio Brown. I know it. I know that's what he's picking. He's gonna go past the perfect hit and just gonna watch blissfulness all the time.
I'm gonna say Michael Vick.
That's a good one.
A good one.
That's a good
really
one.
good one.
That is
say Michael Vick.
That's electrifying. That is electrifying.
He was just a fucking cheat code. And in Madden, he was an actual fucking cheat code. I'm going to go with Michael Vick.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Matthew, you?
I actually was not going to pick Antonio Brown. I was going to pick another receiver, Calvin Johnson.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's a good one too.
I think he had some crazy like catches and just he would take on like 3 defenders and make it look like child's play. It was nuts.
Had Megatron for a reason.
Yep. Who you got, G? Don't say a Cowboy.
I have to. That's it's my constitutional right. Honestly, I'm gonna say Troy Aikman. I'm a big Aikman guy.
Wait.
I know I could have said Michael Irvin.
Wait. When were you born?
I was 96.
Did you ever even see them play? Like
Not
live?
No, but this is why I can watch them. I don't.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if I were to pick a guy from my like actual livelihood.
Yeah. What about one that? Yeah.
Oh, Zeke, easy. Prime Zeke. Oh, when he ran through all the Steelers for like 60 yards, when he jumped in the Salvation Army kettlebell thing. Oh, Prime Zeke was something blissful. I enjoyed Prime Zeke Elliott. Another underrated one would probably be. I really liked Sean Lee. Sean Lee as a defensive player. I really enjoyed him. He was very nice. Same with Max Crosby. I go watch Max Crosby highlights. Yeah. Or Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson's a friggin' dog. That's another guy that's good. But you know what?
On the defensive side, I'd say DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
Man, I've loved watching him just blow motherfuckers up.
Yeah, I got to go Palomalu.
There it is.
Defensive side of the ball.
Him jumping over the
jumping
over the fucking line.
That was nuts.
When he timed, what game was that where he timed it absolutely fucking perfect? He was almost over the line before they snapped the ball. And he could have just taken the fucking ball right there.
Yeah, it was wild, man.
All right, fellas. We're almost gearing up towards the end, but we're very excited because we get to do our very first lineup for Underdog Fantasy, guys. Our very first one. And it's very fitting that we're going to do this for, obviously, we're going to do it for the Eagles versus Cowboys game. We'll be sharing this on our socials, so make sure you guys go and check it out. Once again, that's Underdog Fantasy, code Red Zone Blitz. Make sure you guys sign up. All you have to do is play $5. You get a $50 bonus deposit. If you guys deposit anything, they're going to match you 50% up to $1,000. Let's get into it. Our lineup. So we had Javonte Williams, Brandon, higher than how many rushing attempts you got there?
So the Cowboys, if they're gonna win, they're gonna have to establish the run, and for that, I'm saying Javonte Williams will have higher than 10.5 rushing attempts.
Nice. Shout out Javonte, new RB1 in town. You know what? Listen, you guys are going to get familiar with this name. If you haven't already, it's butter. It's perfection. It's a cheat code. It's a beautiful thing here. Brandon Aubrey. I've got him higher than 1.5 field goals made. Oh, man. Brandon Aubrey can kick that thing from the logo. He can kick it from probably behind the logo. I'm excited to see what he does tomorrow. Yes, I guess when this comes out, it would be tomorrow. So I'm excited to see what he does tomorrow. Can't wait to see him doing that. And we got Mr. Jalen Hurts here, Matthew. You think some interceptions will be thrown?
Yeah, I think higher than 0.5. I think he's going to throw one, much to the liking of you guys.
I like it. I like it.
A little Aaron throw.
Oh, hello. And Brandon, what about our boy Saquon? Unfortunately, playing for the good old Philadelphia Eagles. Ugh.
Well, we got Kenny Clark who can hopefully stop the run, but
yes, sir.
I mean, it's Saquon, so I think he's going to have higher than, 77 yards?
Yep. You got him higher than 77 yards. Rushing yards?
Yeah, what'd I say?
I think you just said yards.
Not bad.
Higher than 77 rushing yards. Got him. We got George Pickens. Higher. His longest reception, I think it's going to be longer than 23 yards. It's 22.5 yards, sorry. I think it's going to be higher. I think it's going to be higher than that. George Pickens is going to absolutely feast. It's going to be a beautiful time. I think a long vertical route will be run on the sidelines. He is free from the shackles of Arthur Smith. It is going to be a beautiful Schottenheimer play. We're going to see some play action that we didn't get to see with Steve Sarkisian. It's going to be a dart. Dakota Prescott. George Pickens. CeeDee Lamb. It's going to be beautiful. And finally, the last one of the day, a defensive metric here. What do you got, Matthew?
We got Jalen Carter going higher than 0.5 sacks.
Oh, boy. Oh, you think he's going to... Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was a great pick from the Eagles in the draft.
Oh, yeah. That was...
He was kind of a steal.
Depressing. When I saw Jalen Carter slide and I saw the stupid green that I hate so much getting up to the draft, I was like, oh, no, it's happening, isn't it?
They got Nakobe Dean, I think, in the same draft year.
Listen, I
both
just...
from Georgia.
I knew it was going to happen. I had a feeling it was a bad time. Obviously, Jalen Carter had his thing that he was dealing with. He was dealing with his off the issue, whatever thing, off the field issue with the driving and all the other sorts. You know,
he just fucking fell to him though. And
look at the draft. You guys want to know the draft? Okay, yeah. Bryce Young goes 1, Carolina. Number 2, CJ Stroud, Houston. Number 3, Will Anderson, also Houston. This is such a bad pick. This is such a bad pick knowing what goes after. Anthony Richardson, number 4 overall to the Indianapolis Colts. Then you got Devin Witherspoon to Seattle. Paris Johnson Jr. Okay, these are whatever. Sure, these are good, but 7, you get Tyree Wilson if you're the Raiders. Why the Raiders did not pick Bijan Robinson is beyond me at that point. I was like, what is going on in Las Vegas? And then it was. There it is. Jalen Carter, 9th overall to the Philadelphia Eagles. You had Darnell Wright going to the Bears. Oh, Bears. You had the Titans taking Peter Skoronski. And then Jahmyr Gibbs went to the Detroit Lions. I'm not going to go through all of it. It's kind of depressing. That is. Yeah, Christian Gonzalez went that year, too, to 17th to the Patriots. That's a good pick.
Jack Campbell to the Lions, 18.
Of course we took Mozzie Smith that year. Oh, yes. I'm going to just give myself a little bit of a pain. Look at, Joey Porter Jr. was in the second round. Pick. We could have had him. Could have had Sam Laporta. Could have had all sorts of things. We could have had Cowboys. Why did you take Mozzie Smith?
Jaden Reed.
Yep, Jaden Reed. Rashi Rice. Oh, man.
Marvin Mims.
Oh, there was a lot of players that they could have taken. But we have Mozzie Smith. Shout out Mozzie Smith. Hopefully you figure it out. Josh Downs. Wow. Devon A-Chain. Can you imagine the Cowboys drafted Devon A-Chain? Obviously, they did not know.
They picked the Marvin over.
I would have even taken Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby would have been a nice one. Okay, Agent Zero.
Yeah.
Agent Zero. Shout out Agent Zero. But
can't wait till he's fucking healthy.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful time. It's going to be a beautiful time. All right, fellas. Closing drive. Biggest surprise from week 1, college football. 1 sentence.
DeBoer being the first coach on the hot seat, and it is fucking hot.
Yep, bang.
I was going to say that too. But let's also go with Belichick just totally being humiliated on primetime TV.
Damn. Okay. My surprise? Honestly, my surprise is probably Arch and Texas. Yep. I did not think that was going to happen. I mean, like, I thought it was going to be, like, my score predictions were insane. Like, I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. I didn't think that, like, Arch was going to be as finicky as he was coming out of the gate. But, yeah, I would say definitely Arch Manning. But you know what? You guys know. The bounce back is coming. It's happening. He's going to bounce back. It's going to be beautiful. Shout out Arch. Man, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode. Make sure you guys are following the Red Zone Blitz pod. It's Red Zone Blitz pod on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you want to write to us, you want to be a part of our mailbag episodes, you want to tell us how great of a job we're doing or how shitty of a job we're doing, one spot, redzoneblitzpodcast@gmail.com. Hit our line. Give us an email. If you are looking to sponsor anything in our segments, that's also a great place to reach out to us. We're going to be back. We're probably going to be back after the Dallas Cowboys game.
Boys, it's finally here.
Finally,
it is.
Let's go.
It is.
Let's
football.
NFL
is here. Our mood will be very, very dependent on that game. So we will make sure that our fridge is stocked. It will be a blissful time. But until then, have your guys a great rest of your week, I guess. Rest your next couple days. Enjoy football. Make sure you tweak your lineups. Until then, I'm your host, G.
Brandon.
And Matthew.
And we'll see you on the other side. We're out.
Later.
Peace.